What up racer, it's Jerone here and welcome back to another League Racing video. We're back again with F1 Racing League, and as you may have noticed I uploaded this video on a Thursday, whereas it's usually out on a Tuesday, and that's because there were quite a lot of steward reports and I wanted to await the results on those, so that's why I decided to swap the videos around. Now I guess that also already spoils that this video will include, well, some controversial moments, and I guess it's also a bit of a classic race, and I would highly recommend you watch the video until the end. Now, in terms of the standings, we're currently in P13, nothing special, just aiming for good results. Quite a lot of people have left the league, had other priorities, etc., so I'll most likely move up a couple of places towards the end of the season. Now, the first important detail I just showed on screen was the fact that Keen Hodgson has left the session, and that's because he accidentally, he was adjusting party audio and stuff, and in the PlayStation 5, if you apparently click another game whilst already having, playing F1, then if you select another game, the game will instantly open up. So he accidentally pressed FIFA, and it just immediately closed F1 2021, whereas on the PS4 you would at least need to confirm the fact that you're going into another game. Anyways, my banker lap was not great. I believe I did a 4.1 on mediums, and on my first softs run I kinda bottled, not gonna lie, so that's why we currently have a 4.0 as my delta. A good time for me here would be somewhere around a 3.4, 3.5. As you can see, unfortunately, I do invalidate my first lap, and I really don't have time for a cooldown lap as I cross the line with about 3 seconds left. As you can see on the top of the screen, qualifying complete, so we have to go again. Now, turn 1 did that pretty well, I think, and we'll have to be a little bit careful with our battery now, as we will most likely not have full power for the entire lap. Second gear through the hairpin, getting some relatively good rotation, and once again we're more than a tenth up on the delta, currently in P10 and looking to improve. Then braking into turn 4, it's quite a difficult corner, make sure you don't lock the brakes and you get the car rotated. Then heading into the double left-hander, keep it in 5th gear, get on the power as early as you dare. Then for the second bit, once again as early on the power as you dare. We have a spinner, and that didn't distract us at all because it was on the straight. Then either keep it in 7th or go down to 6th. And unfortunately you can see I'm running off track by literally a millimeter. Would have improved by nearly 4/10, and in the end that easily would have been enough for a P5. But unfortunately, due to that little invalidation there, it means we're starting in P11. Fortunately it's P11 rather than P10, because on P10, well, it's basically the worst strategic position to be in. You will have to start on the soft compound, and you don't have free tire choice. Plus you already have a bit of tire wear. So heading into the race now, it's relatively easy. Medium to soft if everything goes well, and you can see basically everyone has selected softs. Now I have to mention as well that there are a couple of medium runners in P8 and P9. So the ERT boys opting for softs, but watch on the right hand side, you can see Keen has joined the lobby back. I'll call him Brad for now, because that's what his previous username was. But you can see he was standing still, and let's listen to a bit of party audio.
Just delete the game while you're loading in. Just do something.
Wait, what's going on? Why are the cars going off? What's going on?
Everyone's stuck.
What the fuck happened there, man?
On the right, it still has everyone's name in a loading screen.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get disqualified because of you.
Oh my god, I was changing my wheel setting on the formation lab, but it still feels shit.
F1 knows what you
Probably
really
still
want.
get past me, my tyres are freezing, man.
Should have mentioned that Jeroen had wheel issues before the start.
We're gonna be at the back because I couldn't warm up my tires because of
No, I couldn't warm up mine either, we were going too slow.
I'm in a wall!
Oh my god!
I think go when it starts.
What time for me tires to get colder?
So quite clearly Brett was having some issues as he was facing the wall. But fortunately his car did get going and we could get the race started after, well, about 2 minutes. You can see Brett's car was doing a formation lap and we're switching all of a sudden back to the race now. Fortunately our tires didn't cool down before the start, so that's a good thing. So we still have about 88 degree tires here and the 5 red lights are out quickly. You can see Brett was just standing still on the right hand side there. He was in spectator cam actually, but going into turn 1 unchallenged, but then I get hit from behind all of a sudden and that means I drop down from P10 in the race all the way back to P14, and it was my teammate TF10 Alex who gave me a bit of a shunt there, and he also gave a bit of a shunt to Miku there on the left hand side, but to be fair that was not his fault, that was Simbalex not giving enough space for both of them, and we're down to P14 because Jeroen managed to get past as well. So they're going 3 wide in front of us here. Miku is the one who backs out, but then Miku didn't see me on the right hand side again, so I get another hit, and this was just a very unfortunate start for me. Nothing I could do about any of those 2 incidents, but let's switch back to the view from Miku. You can just see my teammates running deep and hitting me a bit there, so relatively unfortunate. Then later on in the lap, DreXL with a spin, so we're up to P14 again. Now it should be said, Jeroen has had some wheel issues, and you can also see yellow flags everywhere. Zach has spun, Khalifa is out of the session, and yeah, as I was trying to say, Jeroen was having some issues with his wheel.
Oh shit.
And
Zach, where are you going?
Oh my god.
Bro, my ERS is glitched.
Oh, there's no safety car.
Safety car, what?
Oh, I scared the shit out of me then.
I burned some fuel.
Oh.
That by your car really scared me.
Miku, I'm in.
Okay, good.
That must have happened when I was looking at someone else in control of my car.
What the fuck is happening?
How long's this VSC?
I can overtake people if I want.
Don't.
Should end at the end.
No, I shouldn't, of course, but I can.
Guys, why are you permanently driving 2.5 seconds below the delta?
I don't
What's
know.
happening?
I honestly don't know. Simbalex.
At least that way we're not gonna get a drive through.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a drive through last race, so I'm very cautious.
Oh, I need to pee. I need
What
to
the fuck is this?
Bro,
place?
no, the ERS is fucked as well, yeah? I was suddenly out of ERS while it only have used 10%, and then it bumped up to 100.
Oh, it's ending.
so you can quite clearly hear we did have a couple of lobby issues. Jeroen was first of all having wheel issues. He accidentally deleted all his settings before the race. Now Miku is lagging here. Plus Jeroen was also having ERS issues. And you could also see in the top left, for others I'm on soft tires. But more importantly, there's a massive collision here in turn 1. And I don't even know what was happening here. A major incident with an insane amount of people getting damage.
I know, because it just happened. I know. My car is full of.
Yep, my car was full of debris. Here we will have the view from the others.
Side by side in turn 1.
Oh, are you fucking
Yeah, bro.
joking?
No wings off.
Oh shit.
What is this, man?
Fucking hell.
Bro, red flag.
I have
red
no
flag.
wing.
I swear, red
I have
flag.
no wing.
The whole
I have
lobby is
no
glitched
wing
as
too.
well. The whole lobby is fucking glitched.
Yeah, I've had to fucking pit on the first lap. I'm actually able to drive, even though I never hit anything ever.
Miku, I
What an
swear,
overtake!
restart
There's
this.
no way of avoiding that.
Can we restart, guys, please? It's just...
Yeah. The whole lobby is fucked. My ERS is fucked.
I'm literally laughing.
We're not slowing down.
I think Zach was trying to take me out here.
Mate, we actually need it. I'm not.
And I went off the track there because it was impossible to stop the
Mate,
car.
everything is fucked.
I can't slow down the car at all with no wing.
No, but everybody else is working. Like.
To be fair, it was a bit of a miracle that we continued the race. I'm not sure why Miku actually decided to do this, but well, there was just such a major incident there. Plus all the lobby glitches. I think in total like 6 or 7 people got rocked out with that crash. People were going side by side into turn 1, and that's something you don't want to do. And then everyone just piled up, creating a massive chain reaction, and so many people lost their wings. To make things even worse, I had to double stack as well, so I lost even more time. But you can quite clearly see there's a lead group of about 9 or 10 cars, and then there's just a group of cars scattered across the rest of the track, depending on how severe the damage was they received from that lap 3 incident. Then there were yellow flags, and that was because my teammate Alex made a mistake on one of those curbs, I assume, and he actually opted for a set of hard tires, whilst we have accidentally been put on a set of medium or a set of softs, whilst I was clearly selecting mediums. But as I already said, the game had bugged out, and others were seeing, or for others I was on softs for the start of the race, which I clearly wasn't. Then Jordy with a massive mistake. Alex, no DRS, so managed to overtake him, but you can also see Jordy's nowhere to be seen anymore, and he was off to the right hand side, and all of a sudden I've been hit by my teammate as well. So once again, another strange situation. Let's cut to some other onboards again.
Are you fucking kidding me? Come on!
Oh, I've been...
Okay,
Yo,
Alex.
what has this guy done, man?
Wait, what happened?
Jordy, did he bump you off?
Yes!
I was already on the grass on the left-hand side nearly, so... And then he just punted me in the hairpin.
So what actually happened here was Alex did not recognize I was on the left, I think, and did not give me enough space, so he got hit in the end as well, as we in the meanwhile have Jordy spinning again. Maybe he did a bit of a Latifi here, not entirely sure. And yeah, I really don't know what Alex was doing afterwards, but I don't know why he decided to run that deep into the corner and actually hit me. So as you can probably imagine, I was relatively annoyed here, and we can also see Kyle Scarrett going for a spin. So somehow I'm up to P12. He had the curb on the right hand side here, which you clearly don't want to do. It's a bit stupid how the game physics work this way.
I could really use a safety car now.
Yup, we could really use a safety car now. In the meanwhile, I believe Zach already retired after the incident. I believe Sim Balex has retired somewhere. Somebody else, I believe, also retired. In the meanwhile, we've caught up to Alex again, this time going for an overtake down the inside. Do manage to get the move done, but of course it couldn't happen without any contact, so he just turned in on me on the apex, but whatever. Then, fortunately, lap 15, there's a safety car, and it's because Jordy retired from the session. He was quite clearly struggling, and I think we will go to our... No, we won't go to our party chat reaction. Basically, everyone was relieved with the fact there was a safety car, besides, of course, Jordy, who retired from the session. But it did give us the opportunity to come into the pit lane, this time actually put on a set of mediums, and somehow we're actually up into P11 in this race. Now, unfortunately, Kyle Scarrett got lapped by, or after his spin, and he had to pit for another front wing. And he also wasn't able to overtake the safety car, so he's now essentially a lap down. Now in this situation, I probably would have quit. I was definitely already considering quitting the race prior to this, but since I was still racing around P11 and stuff, I thought, well, it only makes sense to stay in. It's FRL, a lot of things can still happen. So, end of lap 17, and the safety car has ended, and we're racing again. So you can see basically everyone around me is on a set of mediums as Kyle is pulling over on the right hand side, letting us all go. So basically halfway through the race essentially had a restart. Everyone has new opportunities to come out on top, and hopefully it will be me, but most likely it won't be me. Then going into the double left-hander, you can see Tease was going for a move on Don't Copy, and Don't Copy nearly spun, and this was just another awkward situation where I honestly don't know how I was not taken out of the race with this situation, because he hit my right rear tire. Somehow that didn't give me any sidepod damage, and I think Don't Copy didn't actually retire from the contact with me, but just retired himself, probably because he was annoyed with the whole situation. Okay, you can also see Brad going wide, having a little bit of trouble with one of the curbstones in the middle or just before the final sector, and we managed to get P9 in this race so far. So things were going quite well, and we're catching up to the back of Tees now, who has already dropped a massive gap to 3XL in P7. So at this point I was just sitting behind for a little bit, just trying to harvest a little bit of ERS. Brett was actually looking quite fast as well. He was trying to get past there, but didn't really work. Then start of lap 22 rather, we're looking to set up the move on the Aston Martin driver, and I think that exit should do, and we pull alongside him, try to go around the outside. For some reason he actually tries to defend this quite hard. I believe I was much stronger on the pace than Tees, but you can also see on the outside there we get bumped twice, and for some reason Tees actually decides not to give up the position in this double left-hander. So going through the second part, and we've been hit again, and there's once again wing damage for us. So things were really going from bad to worse in this race, and you can quite clearly see that was not my fault, of course. I nearly got pushed onto the grass. In fact, if you hit that curbstone on the left, you will most likely spin. So when you nearly get pushed onto the grass, that was just asking for incidents, in my opinion. Then you can see a couple of laps later, Tees actually retired from the race, maybe because he had another incident, which he got annoyed about. I honestly don't know. So at this stage in the race, we're basically driving last. Well, we're not last, I'm not sure why Kyle was staying in the race. Very humble of him to do that, but as I already said, in his situation I would have retired when I would have been a lap down. Then for some reason my teammate Alex actually decided to come into the pit lane again, so at least I had someone to compete against, and it was quite difficult at this point to keep up with Alex, because I'm on like, I don't know, 6-7 lap older soft compound tires. Then this was actually my first warning of the race, and that will become very important now, because as you can see, a safety car has been called out yet again, and this is what happened. You can see Arnoud and Heyoo, and they both end up in the wall.
Oh, big crash! Oh, massive crash between Arnold and Heyoo. So Heyoo's put his nose up the inside, and they've made contact, and there's a full course safety car. Oh my god.
So it's an interesting scenario for the end of the race. As you can see, basically everyone came into the pit lane for a fresh set of softs, and I think it was only Alex staying out this time. So we're down to P10 in the race again, but a very important thing is, you can see Yogurt leading the race, Kazizel in second, but I'm the only one in the field without a penalty. In fact, I only have one warning. That's just because I was driving at snail speed for the whole race, essentially. So as you can see, basically everyone is on a penalty at least, and going through this list, it seems like Arnoud is the only one who is only picked up 3 warnings so far. So potentially he can get his warning removed. But other than that, it seems like everyone else has a time penalty, which is unlikely to be removed. So that means I'm in a really strong position to somehow get a podium out of this race. But before we get the race underway, let's first look at the commentator cam.
So, safety car will be in on this lap, and there's a 5-second, what's going on there? So there's a oh wow. Whoa, what's going on? So oh man, so Dree's got damage. It looks like Yogurt's started and stopped, and Kazizel's gone straight into the back, and I think he's got front wing damage also. So this isn't the ending that we wanted to see here. I'm not sure what is going on. It looks like Yogurt's pressing the throttle and slamming the brakes. What are you doing?
So from the back of this queue, I personally didn't have any troubles, but you can quite clearly, well, yeah, it's quite evident that Yogurt was causing a bit of chaos here by starting and stopping, and means he received 2 5-second penalties for it. Kazizel did as well. Dree has lost part of his wing, and well, a lot of things were going on there, which in the end will definitely play in my favor, because I'm still here without any time penalties. So you have a 2-lap sprint race. You can see Brett going down the inside of Arnold, getting hit, and once again I had to basically slam on the brakes in order to not run into Brett's rear wing. We'll see, we're trying to go down the inside here for the first time this race. We actually have a little bit of decent racing, well in fact I do make a little bit of contact, but nothing major. And at this point I just said to Brett, okay mate, just go, just push, I won't overtake you. The only thing I want at this point is to lose as little time as possible to the leaders, so let's just make sure we push. But then coming back on track is Dree, and he was going really slow due to that damage of course, so Brett had to slow down quite significantly, which meant that I could slip past Brett again. And on the final lap of the race now, moving up to P8 after overtaking Dree. He was quite kind to let me go there, and we're pushing through the final sector now. As you can see, Alfa Romeo off, that's Miku, and we're up to P7. This is what happened. He hit the inside curb.
Oh! Oh my god, no, no. I cannot believe I've done this. That is the biggest bottle.
Yes, indeed, Miku. That is a very big bottle. I cannot say anything else than that. I know what it feels like, but you can see we're out of ERS, crossing the line in P7, and we've won the race. We've won the race, at least provisionally, and I was in utter shock. Like, I was maybe expecting a podium, but I didn't expect to win this race. Like, everyone with their penalties and stuff, I understand that was the case, but still, I expected at least someone to have 3 seconds of time penalties and pull out far enough to claim the victory. But due to Yogurt getting those 10 seconds of time penalties, because he's always 10 seconds of time penalties, and basically everyone else with 3 or 6 seconds, we've somehow won this race by not getting any time penalties and essentially driving the whole race at snail speed. Now, as I mentioned, the only one who could possibly get his time penalty removed was Arnold, and in the end his time penalty was not removed. We'll show the clip in a couple of seconds. In my personal opinion, that penalty could have been removed. I'm not sure why the group of stewards decided against it, but I guess it does work out in my favor, and after all the stewards' reports, I can in fact say I won this race. I'm honestly still a bit in shock how this race went. The driving standards were horrible where I was driving, with all the lobby glitches, with all the unfortunate things that were going on for Brad, for Jeroen, and yeah, just all the incidents. I'm honestly surprised I won this race. If there is something to learn from this race, then it is that you should never give up unless you're potentially let down. But you can see how many others have quit and didn't get the opportunity to win the race in such a way. I don't feel like I deserve this one at all, but I'll gladly take it. And, well, that means that this video has come to an end, so maybe you did enjoy the video, maybe you didn't, maybe you already clicked off due to the horrible driving standards. I'm not entirely sure, but if you did make it to the end of the video, then leaving a like on this video would be appreciated for the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you for the next race, which is Silverstone. Bye bye.